Hello, my name is Vikas Pota. The reason why we're organizing this global showcase for World Education Week is we believe that schools have incredible expertise in making sure that learning outcomes improve. Given the state of the world, we want to see the expertise from this particular school being replicated in schools all over our planet so that the world becomes better for everyone. That is why I congratulate this school for what it does and hope that those listening can take away conclusions as to how they should actually approach their own improvement journeys. Thank you all for participating, and I look forward to seeing you in many of the other events this coming week. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors for supporting this incredible work, without whom we couldn't have put together this global showcase. Thank you, and I wish you well for this event.
Fast-paced social, economic, and technology-driven change is redefining our world. And having a broad range of skills, such as creativity and problem-solving, has become far more important than being able to memorize information. To redefine how our children learn, and to empower them for the future, parents, teachers, and policymakers must stop overlooking a powerful part of the solution: learning through play. Play is the rocket fuel of child development, and there is a growing body of evidence to support that play is fundamental for children's positive growth and well-being over time. It is also an essential way to foster the skills required to thrive in today's world. The LEGO Foundation aims to build a future in which learning through play empowers children to become creative, engaged, lifelong learners. To do so, we work with a range of partners around the world to change the hearts and minds of all of those who influence children's lives through our programs, research, and advocacy, so they can all embrace the transformative power of play. Examples of what we do include making sure that caregivers, practitioners, and policymakers understand the importance of play, investigating, testing, and scaling new ways to bring play-based learning into homes and schools, using play to help millions of the world's most vulnerable children cope with adverse childhood experiences and toxic stress, or conducting research with some of the world's leading research institutions. Please visit our website and follow us on social media to learn more.
Language connects us all. It's how friendships are formed, ideas are shared, and lessons are learned. Language is how we find understanding and express love. It's how we communicate our successes, both big and small. It lays the groundwork for learning and growth. And for an increasingly diverse student population, it can be the key to achievement in school and beyond. That's why Rosetta Stone Education is dedicated to language and literacy. We offer solutions designed to support teachers and their emergent bilingual students, recognizing and celebrating the knowledge, culture, and languages they bring to our classrooms. Our products are founded on the adaptive blended learning model for individual needs, continuous progress monitoring for better learning outcomes, and culturally responsive pedagogies for more inclusive classrooms. With solutions aligned with proficiency standards, we support language learning while exploring academic subject areas, paving the way to better outcomes. Because for all of us, language is everything.
Dear T4 community, We talk a lot about teachers these days, but we rarely listen to them. Therefore, I am truly excited to join the T4 World Education Week to hear from teachers and school leaders all over the world how we can impact learning together. I am particularly looking forward to the global showcase. 100 schools sharing their expertise and best practices, I believe, will be a huge motivation for other schools around the globe. I'm equally impressed by the T4 Solutions Challenge, its finalists and their solutions to real-world issues in education. This gives me hope that we can, together, turn around education globally. The Jacobs Foundation is a proud supporter of the T4 World Education Week because we share a vision to reimagine learning and education by bringing together the brightest people who understand how children learn. Let's do this together.
Ovo je ekonomska škola u Nišu danas. Ovo je moja škola, moj prvi i pravi izbor.
Zdravo, ja sam Kristina ispred brenda Organic Serbia i mi radimo u Nišu. Omladinski edukativni centar iz Niša, socijalno preduzeće, svoj koncept rada zasniva na društveno odgovornom poslovanju. Samim tim u svoj rad on uključuje učenike srednjih škola, među kojima su i učenici ekonomske škole, kao i učenici specijalne škole za osnovno i srednje obrazovanje za učenike sa invaliditetom, ali i štićenike Kazneno-popravnog zavoda iz Niša. Sama ideja o nastanku brenda Organic Serbia nastala je 2015. godine, kada je nastala učenička kompanija Organic u saradnji sa udruženjem Omladinski edukativni centar i tada su učenici došli na ideju da izrađuju organske čajeve koji se pakuju u vrlo specifičnim pakovanjima. Naši čajevi se izrađuju od prirodnih sirovina koje su nekultivisane i koje se ne uzgajaju u kontrolisanim uslovima. Svi čajevi imaju poreklo iz parkova prirode, među kojima su planine jugoistočne Srbije, a to su Jastrebac, Stara planina, Vlasina i Kopaonik. I ono što je posebno karakteristično za naše proizvode je da se one izrađuju u skladu sa standardima organske proizvodnje, pa samim tim za gotov proizvod imamo 6 vrsti organskih čajeva. vodit će vas moj kolega Ognjen Stanković i moja malenkost Kristina Petrović.
This is Kristina Petrović and I'm Ognjen Stanković. Welcome to the School of Economics in Niš.
A naši današnji govornici bit će direktor ekonomske škole, gospodin Dragan Aleksić.
You will have the opportunity to hear the principal of the School of Economics, Dragan Aleksić.
Profesor preduzetništva i koordinator regionalnog centra za omladinsko preduzetništvo, profesor Bratislav Vasić.
Teacher of entrepreneurship and coordinator of Regional Entrepreneurship Center, Professor Bratislav Vasić.
Profesorka ekonomske grupe predmeta i viši pedagoški savjetnik, profesorka Slađana Radojlović.
Teacher of Economics Matter Subjects, Slađana Radojlović.
Profesor Olivera Rizanović, koordinator projektne aplikacije za učešće na Svetskoj nedelji obrazovanja.
A coordinator of the application for the participation in World Educational Week, Olivera Rizanović.
Marko Đorđević, osnivač predsjednik udruženja Omladinski edukativni centar iz Niša.
Founder of non-governmental organization Youth Educational Center from Niš, Marko Đorđević.
Pozivam našeg direktora, gospodina Dragana Aleksića, da nam se obrati i upozna nas sa ekonomskom školom iz Niša.
I would ask the principal Dragan Aleksić to open the discussion and shortly present the work of the school.
It's my great pleasure on behalf of my staff and on my personal behalf to welcome the organizers of the World Education Week and all those who are watching us at this moment today. And I'm really grateful to all the institutions of the Republic of Serbia for all the support and everything. They made it possible for us to be a part of this project today. 1992, this is the 92nd year of the existence of the School of Economics in Niš, and we have 37 classes today, 958 pupils or students being educated in 4 educational profiles. Since the opening, the School of Economics was a great school. Apart from the knowledge it offered to its pupils, it also cherished or fostered the entrepreneurship and educated children that they should work along with studying. And later on, with changes of the ownership, we turned to virtual enterprises and companies. Since 2016, when we became the regional center for students' entrepreneurship, we became a great incubator and enthusiasts for development of entrepreneurship, where children can start from the ideas and implement those ideas and create a company together with their mentors. And in the end, we had in the past 2 real companies who were founded, and our former pupils, students, are successful businessmen today. As a result, and the reward for respecting the students' entrepreneurship, we managed to modernize and improve the students' magazine, The Economist. We are editing it together with our students, and we are printing it in our own print shop. Socialization of our students and great wish for work by our staff, teaching staff, made it possible for us to have today, all of us, that we can say that all of us are a great family, a big family today. And I'm really proud to be the leader of such stuff. Whatever we do and however we do it, you will hear more from my colleagues. And I would like to send message to all the principals directors, managers, because I have a great wish and I wish them to be as successful as possible in the protection of their students and their staff, teaching staff from coronavirus, which is a global threat, and a great message throughout the world in Serbian way. May all of you be healthy and living for another 100 years. Thank you.
Mr. Izanovic, would you explain the connection between traditional students cooperatives and the new concept of student companies and how they benefit the students' learning process?
The School of Economics has achieved a special way of learning through the connection between the tradition dating back to the origins of the school more than 90 years ago, through entrepreneurship, students' entrepreneurship and cooperatives, and the tradition of preservation, together with students' companies existing in the modern times, that open form of learning through the connection of students, companies, and cooperatives enabled our school to do some things that are special, that we are recognized for, and that represent a special kind of open learning for our students. Since 2000, we introduced the practice of students' companies through the project Youth Achievements, and what's especially important in our story, in 2016, in our school, we formed a regional center for entrepreneurship of Southeast Serbia, to be more precise. And we started activities of education of both our students and students from other schools, all those who are willing to learn about entrepreneurship and start their own new companies, or we are creating companies in that way. This story about students, companies, and cooperatives is learning through experience, involving the connection between the teaching curricula and work, participation in organized projects through which students are prepared for real life and the real market. It opens different areas to our students to be the founders of companies, to promote options for self-employment and employment of other people, by which we are greatly contributing to the promotion of the society economy in general. Apart from these benefits, the fact is that in our country, students' companies have grown into students' cooperative, made it possible for the student cooperative as a legal entity in the connection together with the students' company, which is not a legal entity. It all enables our students to change some myths or concepts of learning, as the students' companies are founded at the beginning of the school year in September in Serbia, and it lasts until the end of the school year when it is closed, so that the students could go through all the stages of the existence of a student's company. However, our companies survived that period. They became competitive on the market and profitable. and it is a great benefit for our students as one of the moments of inspiration for all those wishing to try to be entrepreneurs. And we all know that about 20% of participants or activists in students' companies really establish their own companies after they finish attending school, opening the area of employment for themselves and for other people. And it achieves a great effect. And it's important in that whole story to mention that our students, by working in companies, are participating in different events, trade fairs, attend conferences, panel discussions, and that is how they promote themselves in a comprehensive manner of speaking. They gain competencies in all the areas within communication, public appearance, and they become really skillful young people in the end.
Koje su u školi donale veliki broj nagrada i da nam malo bliže predstavite segment inkluzivnosti koji postoji.
Mr. Vasic, could you describe the concept of student companies and how to incorporate them into learning process?
I will try to explain this concept in the School of Economics, the model that enables us more successful and better inclusion of students in the educational process. The essence is, we already mentioned the students' cooperative as the nucleus of the functioning of this system. Within the students' cooperative, there are between 5, 6, or 7 student companies within 1 year, and this model is governed by the legislation as the students' cooperative is a legal entity within a school, and it has the option to function as an independent entity. It has its own account in the bank, making it possible for students and student companies working in those to verify their efforts and the results of the work on the market. It's important to stress out that we in the school insist on engagement of students by working in students' companies in the way that represents the whole business process. We are preparing them when they finish the high school or the faculty to become the part of economy in our country. The fact that more and more students with special needs are enrolling our school. To be quite honest, it's not a significant number, but it's increasing. So this fact inspired us. Out of these 7 companies annually, we insist that one of them should be in the field of social entrepreneurship. Social entrepreneurship is the area with better and better results, especially engagement in the areas with large capital. Working in a social company means that it acts and it operates together with institutions in which people with special needs attend. So our students, by spreading the idea of entrepreneurship among people who are inclusive people, make it possible for them to be prepared better, and they can start their own businesses one day in the future.
Kažete koji se to još preduzetničkim aktivnostima bave učenici ekonomske škole i da li te aktivnosti mogu možda imati utjecaja na razvoj grada, regiona, ili čak i države?
Mr. Radalović, are there other entrepreneurship activities for the students in the school, and could they possibly affect the development of the region or even development of the country?
Hello. On the national competition in entrepreneurship organized by the Development Agency of Serbia and High School of Business from Belgrade, students from our schools achieved great results. Projects consent in SPA and the Museum of Historical Events of the city of Niš developed tourism in our city, and factory for the production of organic food developed industry of our country. With ideas, the students presented their ideas to the local self-government and the government of the Republic of Serbia. Students presented their ideas in the Economy Chamber of Serbia, and they were greatly appreciated. If an idea of our students becomes a reality one day, it will inspire economic development not only of Niš, but the whole region and the whole Serbia. We're negotiating with a potential investor for one of the projects, and we are expecting the projects to be implemented. This story tells us that our students are not only ready to form their own companies, but they are also thinking about the development of this wonderful country of ours, Serbia. Many projects have been done by our female students. We in the School of Economics, in the regional center, support female entrepreneurship. 80% of population of our students are female students. Projects on which they worked established great results for the School of Economics at the national and international level. They are creative, innovative, they have a sense for inclusive action. Our female students participated in many panel discussions about female entrepreneurship. One of them was female or women's entrepreneurship in the function of development of the south of Serbia. All these projects are focused on reduction of the gap in the economic development between the developed north of Serbia and far less developed south of Serbia, but as well as the reduction of the gap between the level of the economic development of rural and urban areas. Of course, all in the function of the sustainable development. Our goal is that through our regional center for youth entrepreneurship, have as many of our students as possible, so that they could learn a lot in the School of Economics, to guide them through all the functions of the management and development of business plans, so that one day after they complete this, attending this school, after completing formal and informal education, they decide to form their own companies or their own enterprises. That's the contribution of the School of Economics to the development of our country and reduction and it's a great contribution to the development of youth.
Mr. Georgievich, how does your non-governmental organization collaborate with the School of Economics Niš?
Hello everyone, regards from Niš. Our cooperation with the School of Economics and long-term partnership dates back to 2014. In that period, we implemented about 10 projects supported by the Ministry of Youth and Sports, partially by the city of Niš, and also we had partnerships and support by the Chamber of Commerce of Serbia, German governmental organization GIZ, USAID, Foundation of Novak Djokovic. Professor Vasic mentioned the concept of social entrepreneurship. I would like to add that we included in the implementation of vulnerable groups as pioneers in our country, the residents of the prison in Niš, and we are cooperating in certain segments of entrepreneurship with them, and also we started cooperated with many institutions dealing with youth with special needs. What's also very important to mention is that in future period, and we already started cooperation, we will include young people from rural areas as they have less chances for the development of their own potentials, for their development, although we know that there are people from all those raw materials in the concept of organic production originates from the rural areas. Organically certified teas are one of the concepts of our youth entrepreneurship. We are supported by European Union Oslo Agenda in 2006, then the public discussion in Brussels regarding forming of the zones of open learning, where schools are recognized as leaders in entrepreneurial education, and they should be incubators and places from which the concept of entrepreneurship will spread, and the raising of capacity of young people so that they could develop their own potentials, social and corporate responsibility, environmental responsibility. So all these factors are united as they are very important for the development of economy.
Now we have the opportunity to see the messages from the relevant institutions that work with the school in the era of entrepreneurship.
I'm old enough that I can remember, when we started cooperation with the economic school in Niš, like over 10 years ago, and it's one of 355 schools that we are cooperating today, but they are somehow, the most important. It is not always easy to interfere young people in high school to do more, to do something differently, like entrepreneurial learning, particularly in that time when state get out of the absolute economy, and the education system was still very, very rigid. But the team of teachers, in that school started from the very beginning to understand what we are actually doing, that we want to make, a new generation who will think out of the box, who wouldn't follow just that simple things that the education system is giving them. And then it's, the key ingredient in that part are the teachers. The teachers, starting with one, then come up with the 10 teachers who are able to make impact in the school, impact in their community, and make the impact on the entire society. And that is what I believe that economic school in Niš did really the tremendous job. even in Corona time, you know, kind of they didn't stop. They continue working and working further, like every other entrepreneur in the world, you know, kind of. So if you want to move, you just adjust to new rules and new standards, you know, kind of, and you have to move on. And maybe, you know, I kind of for the end I really like to quote one of the teachers from the schools, Professor Bratislav Vasic, you know, kind of, he likes to say that they in their school they create winners, they make winners, and this is what make them different, you know, like kind of from maybe every other school.
I'm coming from Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Serbia, from Center for SME, and I would like to point out the fact that the Republic of Serbia has representatives in the upcoming World Educational Week. We are very proud and very happy to give support to our participants. We all know how important it is to invest in education and to encourage our youth to be involved in various educational programs, so one day they could become successful entrepreneurs. We recognize efforts of the School of Economy from Niš, together with the Youth Educational Center from Niš, to improve educational systems and therefore to include young people to the labor market. Youth Educational Center from Niš is one of the top 5 winners in the sector of micro and small companies for National Award for Corporate Social Responsibility, given by Chamber of Commerce. They won this award for the dual educational model for the production of organic tea. With this award, we want to reward socially responsible companies from our country. Once again, we would like to congratulate our 2 schools from Serbia, because they are among 100 schools all over the world acquired the right to be part of the World Educational Week.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's my great pleasure and honor to greet you on behalf of the Ministry of Youth and Sports of the Republic of Serbia, Minister Vanja Udovičić and other colleagues. I send greetings to excellent team from the Secondary School of Economics from Niš, which in partnership with the Young Education Center has successfully implemented project we believe are an example of good practice within a goal to improve employability and entrepreneurship of young people in Serbia. 3 years in a row, the Ministry of Youth and Sport supported the project and development of the Regional Center of the Young Entrepreneurs, which has opened in the Secondary School of Economics in Niš, aiming to create conditions for young people to acquire knowledge, business and soft skills during high school education and create opportunities for them to transform their ideas into concrete business ideas to improve their status, the status of local community and of course the country. From the beginning until now, our aim is to provide support and empower young people through non-formal education in order to be more adjustable of the labor market, to bring the education and dynamic modern labor market closer together, and to create possibilities for either employment and young people. Also, we strive to support all good ideas, especially those that come directly from young people, created by their needs. The Regional Center of Young Entrepreneurs is certainly one of them because it provides an opportunity for young people to gain the necessary skills and experience in a safe environment guided by mentors. Being aware the young people are the present and their future of society and the driving force of the development, we continuously and systematically invest in their development as the most important resource of our country. The Ministry of Youth and Sport will always be there to support young people. At the same time, we thank all the partners who share our goals and efforts and who contribute to recognizing and promoting successful examples of young people and their ideas. Thank you.
U toku panel diskusije naša publika je imala neka pitanja, pa ćemo sada pokušati da im odamo odgovore na njih. Najprije bih pitala profesora Bratislava Vasića. Profesore, da li ovakav vid prakse zaista priprema mlade ljude za započinjanje sopstvenog biznisa, odnosno da li iz naše škole izlaze mladi preduzetnici?
Based on questions our audience asked, we'll first ask Mr. Vasic, does this type of practice make students ready for starting their own businesses after school?
The results so far are indicating that that's true. We developed two students' companies who are operating as real students' companies. When I say real, I mean economic companies, and these are companies that are implementing real business or operation. They are making specific products, and as such they have to go through all the processes of their successful positioning on the market. In the end, although it's not our primary goal to earn profits, definitely some of the student companies are in that sense positive. It's very important for us because young people working in students' companies should understand the importance of the market competition and the significance of successful positioning on the market. The fact is that, as our director mentioned, one students' company is present in the foreign market today. It indicates that these are real processes where we create comprehensive managers who can work tomorrow in their own companies.
Are international investors are interested in this type of project?
With regards to the structure of investment and donations in the entrepreneurship, students' entrepreneurship, there is a goodwill and good projects by the international donors, but I believe that the way of channeling or distribution of those funds should pay more attention to those municipalities and regions outside of Belgrade, who is Belgrade is a metropolis in the field of agriculture or organic food production, because these raw materials are in underdeveloped areas. I know that it's very attractive and profitable to invest in development of IT sector, but as on the global level as well as in our country, economic experts predicted there will be a shortage of food because of the increasing number of population on our planet. I believe that the real focus should be on those areas of entrepreneurship and raise capacities from the very beginning and invest the funds in these areas. Funds are distributed in the southeast Serbia, and I believe that the amount of funds should increase in the following period.
Ms. Rizanovic, can you describe how professors encourage students to become the part of these projects and student conference?
Thank you for such a nice question. Professors of the School of Economics from Niš found a nice model for confirmation of students' entrepreneurship. The story of entrepreneurship tell actually older pupils tell the story to younger students. So we are relying on peer education and the story of success, because success creates success, and our companies are very successful as they have been awarded many times on national and international contests. And of course, there is the fact that some of them are profitable is one of the moments that we appreciate a lot, and it's the greatest story that we can tell, and that children should tell them to children or students to students, and then it becomes really a powerful story, developing story, the story of knowledge that is being developed and shared. So our older students share their knowledge with their younger peers, and the story gets better and better every day. So I hope that it will continue increasing in the future.
Ključne veštine koje mladi ljudi zapravo mogu pronaći u programu učeničkih kompanija koji im kasnije mogu pomoći da budu adekvatni kadrovi na tržištu rada.
Mr. Vasic, what are the key skills the students gain within work in these student companies?
What's our motive for our teachers to get engaged in this way is creation of successful manager or entrepreneur. By working in students' companies, students gain such skills and knowledge. We insist on creativity. We insist that every students' company should have its own innovative idea as such. And we are emphasizing the market sustainability of the company. And we are sure that we are creating the characteristics in the character of a young people as a base for their successful development in future.
Koji su to primjeri koji mogu poslužiti drugim školama da se i one okrenu ka programima preduzetništva i na taj način angažuju svoje mlade ljude?
Based on previous discussion, we sum up what other schools can learn from the School of Economics English.
Prva stavka podrazumeva to da ne treba tek tako olako odbaciti primere iz prošlosti. Savršen primjer ovoga jeste upravo odnos učeničkih zadruga i učeničkih kompanija koje funkcionišu u ekonomskoj školi i koji je omogućio da se ova dva sistema sjedine i imaju odličan tržišni nastup.
Well, good examples from the past should not be easily dismissed. So student cooperatives stop existing due to the reforms of our economy. But the new concept of student companies replace this practice and encourage development of new learning processes.
Zatim, koncepti mogu biti izmenjeni u okviru oblasti otvorenog učenja. Kao što smo rekli, učeničke kompanije kao takve nemaju pravni okvir za funkcionisanje i sticanje profita, ali učenički zadruge imaju. Samim tim, njihovom sinergijom, mi smo uspeli da stvorimo profitabilni sistem koji će mlade ljude naučiti šta to znači zarađivati i kako mogu doći do prve zarade.
Concepts can be changed in the era of open learning. On one hand, we have student cooperatives, which has legal form. On the other hand, we have student companies, which has not have a legal form, and combining those two, we can manage to develop long-lasting student companies and make them profitable and ready for the market game.
Zatim, mitovi mogu biti srušeni, čemu svedočimo i uz pomoć naših učeničkih kompanija koje funkcionišu tokom više godina. Pri realizaciji programa Dostignuće mladih u Srbiji, koje i plasiraju program učeničkih kompanija, ističe se informacija da je rok učeničkih kompanija, odnosno trajanje učeničkih kompanija godinu dana. Međutim, u ekonomskoj školi iz Niša imamo primjer da učeničke kompanije i tokom godina dobro funkcionišu i samo se još bolje pozicioniraju na tržištu.
Myths can be broken. So student companies are based on learning through work, and the system of the student companies is formed in a way that company lasts only a year, but in the School of Economics in Niš, professors and students manage to form the student companies that can last longer than a year thanks to good practice.
Organska proizvodnja zaista predstavlja jednu dobru šansu za mlade. Nakon realizacije projekata u saradnji sa Omladinskim edukativnim centrom koji su finansirani od strane Ministarstva omladine i sporta i grada Niša, imali smo priliku da učestvujemo na različitim sajmovima uz pomoć svojih učeničkih kompanija i plasiramo proizvode koji su u oblasti organske proizvodnje. Iako su učenici bili malo specifični u pitanju bavljenja organskom proizvodnjom, tada je otkriven taj koncept i videlo se da samo bavljenje organskom proizvodnjom ima veliki potencijal i da učenici nakon završene srednje škole mogu svoje preduzetničko mesto pronaći upravo u ovoj oblasti.
Organic production is a great development chance for youth. Two projects of School of Economics are supported by the Ministry of Youth and Sport. And the main goals of these projects are awareness spreading the awareness of food safety and promoting agriculture. Our students are encouraged to do more work in these areas and to find the great chances and take them based on knowledge they gain through these organic production projects.
I posljednje teme koje bismo volili da istaknemo jeste da je vršnjačka edukacija moćno sredstvo inkluzije. Saradnja između učenika ekonomske škole i škole za osnovno i srednje obrazovanje za decu sa invaliditetom, odnosno za učenike sa invaliditetom, učenici su zajedničkim snagama uspeli da realizuju cijelo proizvodni proces i da mlade sa invaliditetom donekle inspirišu da nakon završene osnovne i srednje škole razmišljaju u preduzetničkom smeru i uzmu svoju budućnost u svoje ruke.
Peer education is a powerful tool for inclusion. Members of student companies from our school work and learn with students with special needs from the other school, and together they gain new skills, they learn and encourage each other to develop themselves.
Sada, zahvaljujemo se učesnicima današnjeg panela i organizatorima Svetske nedelje obrazovanja, pre svega gospodinu Vikasu Poti, na prilici da progovorimo o obrazovanju u Srbiji i svojoj ekonomskoj školi.
Thanks to the participants on today's event and the organizers of the World Education Week, especially to the Mr. Vikas Pota for the opportunity to speak about educational practice of Serbia and educational practice of School of Economics in Niš.
Hvala i na mogućnostima da tokom Svetske nedelje obrazovanja upoznamo i druge svetske nastavne prakse i na taj način obogatimo svoj razvoj.
We are thankful for the opportunity to meet other schools' practices and develop our work during the World Educational Week.
Hello, my name is Vikas Pota. The reason why we're organizing this global showcase for World Education Week is we believe that schools have incredible expertise in making sure that learning outcomes improve. Given the state of the world, we want to see the expertise from this particular school being replicated in schools all over our planet so that the world becomes better for everyone. That is why I congratulate this school for what it does and hope that those listening can take away conclusions as to how they should actually approach their own improvement journeys. Thank you all for participating, and I look forward to seeing you in many of the other events this coming week. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors for supporting this incredible work, without whom we couldn't have put together this global showcase. Thank you, and I wish you well for this event.
Fast-paced social, economic, and technology-driven change is redefining our world. And having a broad range of skills, such as creativity and problem-solving, has become far more important than being able to memorize information. To redefine how our children learn, and to empower them for the future, parents, teachers, and policymakers must stop overlooking a powerful part of the solution: learning through play. Play is the rocket fuel of child development, and there is a growing body of evidence to support that play is fundamental for children's positive growth and well-being over time. It is also an essential way to foster the skills required to thrive in today's world. The LEGO Foundation aims to build a future in which learning through play empowers children to become creative, engaged, lifelong learners. To do so, we work with a range of partners around the world to change the hearts and minds of all of those who influence children's lives through our programs, research and advocacy, so they can all embrace the transformative power of play. Examples of what we do include making sure that caregivers, practitioners and policymakers understand the importance of play, investigating, testing and scaling new ways to bring play-based learning into homes and schools, using play to help millions of the world's most vulnerable children cope with adverse childhood experiences and toxic stress, or conducting research with some of the world's leading research institutions. Please visit our website and follow us on social media to learn more.
Language connects us all. It's how friendships are formed, ideas are shared, and lessons are learned. Language is how we find understanding and express love. It's how we communicate our successes, both big and small. It lays the groundwork for learning and growth. And for an increasingly diverse student population, it can be the key to achievement in school and beyond. That's why Rosetta Stone Education is dedicated to language and literacy. We offer solutions designed to support teachers and their emergent bilingual students, recognizing and celebrating the knowledge, culture, and languages they bring to our classrooms. Our products are founded on the adaptive blended learning model for individual needs, continuous progress monitoring for better learning outcomes, and culturally responsive pedagogies for more inclusive classrooms. With solutions aligned with proficiency standards, we support language learning while exploring academic subject areas, paving the way to better outcomes. Because for all of us, language is everything.
Dear T4 community, we talk a lot about teachers these days, but we rarely listen to them. Therefore, I am truly excited to join the T4 World Education Week to hear from teachers and school leaders all over the world how we can impact learning together. I am particularly looking forward to the global showcase. 100 schools sharing their expertise and best practices, I believe, will be a huge motivation for other schools around the globe. I'm equally impressed by the T4 Solutions Challenge, its finalists and their solutions to real-world issues in education. This gives me hope that we can, together, turn around education globally. The Jacobs Foundation is a proud supporter of the T4 World Education Week because we share a vision to reimagine learning and education by bringing together the brightest people who understand how children learn. Let's do this together.